What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now it's finally here, the first episode of Raw on Netflix, with 4 fantastic fights booked in for the show. But will Raw live up to the hype? Well, join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Red Brand, recapping the matches, as well as looking at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now the show actually begins with a spectacular hype video following a pep talk from WWE Chief Content Officer The Game. He welcomes fans to the Intuit Dome, telling them they're being seen around the world. But that's just the start, as The Rock then shows up and the final boss waxes nostalgic on the days when WWE could only be seen on Saturday mornings. The Rock also congratulates Cody Rhodes on the job he's done as Undisputed Champion and tells the fans to get ready for the Tribal Combat match. That match is up first as Solo Sikoa takes on Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat. Now, this is a hellacious battle that incorporates a family feud, a story of teacher and student, and a tale of betrayal. The match is a brutal back and forth affair that sees Roman absorb Solo's punishment, proving the would-be tribal chief that he's not ready yet in a one-on-one match. However, Solo's in it to win it at any cost, including any help from Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, who show up and nearly cost Roman the bout. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso provide backup, but Kevin Owens crashes the party, leading to doubts about the outcome. But then Cody Rhodes comes in with vest and dress shoes, giving the save and giving Roman a chance to regroup and take Solo out with 2 spears, covering him for the win, as Roman Reigns becomes the OTC, well, the true tribal chief with the Olafala. But then Paul Heyman is ready to present the Olafala to Roman Reigns when The Rock then shows up, taking the Olafala from Heyman and putting it round Roman's neck. The two hug as Reigns basks in the fans' cheers and his win. But now it's time for the farewell tour of John Cena to start, as he addresses the WWE Universe, reminding him that he hasn't won a solo match in years. The 16-time world champion tells the fans that they have to face the reality that a world title isn't in his future, except if he happens to win the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber or Money in the Bank. Cena proclaims that he's playing his Royal Rumble lottery ticket and that he tells WWE superstars, if you want some, come get some. There's also a lovely quote that Cena puts in, "My time is up, their time is now." And those words couldn't have been truer. Next up is a Women's World Championship match as champion Liv Morgan takes on the Eradicator Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's quest for revenge on Liv Morgan has stretched for months, but it's clear that this feud is ending one way or another. Unfortunately, from the match's start, it's clear that all Liv Morgan can do is delay the inevitable, as Ripley shrugs off Morgan's best outside interference and even Morgan using foreign objects. Ripley bides her time until she lands 2 consecutive riptides for the 1, 2, 3 as she now becomes the new Women's World Champion. After the match, Dirty Dominic Mysterio wants to reconcile with Ripley as she welcomes his hug before lowering the boom with a kick to Mysterio's family jewels. In a surprise return, The Undertaker comes in his American Badass persona as he rides his motorcycle down to the ring and then congratulates Rhea Ripley on a win with a fist bump. But then we have rapper Travis Scott, who joins Jey Uso in a yeet before his match. And he doesn't perform live, he just smokes a blunt and daps Michael Cole, or as Pat McAfee called it, Sage. He had Sage with him. However, Scott did hype the crowd, including Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, who jump on the announce table and celebrate with him. That match is up next as Jey Uso takes on Drew McIntyre. Drew is looking to continue the momentum he's enjoyed since his post-Survivor Series return, not only winning matches but injuring opponents. Tonight looked to be no different as the Scottish Warrior punishes main event Jey despite his best efforts. However, McIntyre's arrogance gets the best of him as he goes for a Claymore, with Jey dodging it and rolling Drew up for a surprise win as Jey Uso wins the match. The WWE then airs a hype video for World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Then Real American plays as Jimmy Hart waves an American flag, with Hulk Hogan right behind him, but the Hulkster tries to cut his promo on the Real American beer, but the fans are having none of it. They are booing Hogan to an oblivion, so much so that he did kind of take him off his promo a little bit. I mean, Hogan himself couldn't have ignored that atmosphere, and Jimmy Hart was in the back and his body language was looking like, wrap that shit up and get me the F out of here. Probably wasn't the best idea to bring Hulk Hogan out in LA. But now it's time for the main event as CM Punk takes on Seth Rollins. And the volcano waiting to erupt finally explodes, releasing a magma hot stream of non-stop violence. Punk and Rollins trade each other's finishes as the referee gives them the considerable latitude in the match, but Rollins looks to have Punk pinned at one point, but the savvy veteran's ring awareness allows him to place his foot on the rope, and things continue until Punk hits 2 consecutive GTSs for the win as CM Punk closes out Raw's Netflix debut as the winner. Now, nothing happened after that as it's the post-media show press conference, but now let's look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, a spectacular star. Tonight's Raw played into WWE's reputation for a slickly produced show with lots of bells and whistles. This was evident from the start as WWE aired a brilliant hype video showcasing pro wrestling's history and WWE's impact on pop culture, essentially making the case that WWE is pro wrestling and all pro wrestling is WWE, except no imitations. Also, Raw's new setting actually looked pretty cool. The dark mat, even with the sponsors on it, made Raw feel much more darker in tone. Not to mention that the referees now have new darker shirts. It all kinda ties in and makes the atmosphere look a lot better on Raw. Maybe this is the true Raw dark that they were talking about years ago. Number 2, Rock in the House. The WWE fans were not disappointed as Rock graced the fans at the Intuit Dome with an appearance, doing only as he can when it comes to electrifying the crowd. Incredibly, The Rock kept things brief, pumping the fans up and putting over longtime rival Cody Rhodes for his work as champion, but we'll get to that in a bit. Number 3, John Cena's promo. John Cena's 2025 retirement tour kicked off on the right foot, with Cena putting the WWE's current roster over and casting doubts on any of its fans' hopes that he'll find a way to capture a record-breaking 17th world title. However, fans know Cena never gives up, which made his swerve so sweet when he told the fans that the Royal Rumble is his chance to seize the brass ring. Naturally, things aren't going to be that easy, so expect Cena to spend 2025 trying to cash in his ticket to a world title match by either winning the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, or Money in the Bank. Number 4, Rhea wins. Tonight was a night of closure for Roman Reigns and Rhea Ripley, and in Rhea's case, a long overdue grand finale to her feud with Liv Morgan. There's no question that the feud cemented Morgan's main event status, but it was beginning to hurt Ripley as she looked weak trying to overcome Morgan. And now big things are ahead for both superstars, and we know that we're not alone in saying we can't wait, especially with Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and hopefully Asuka returning soon. Number 5, the hottest ticket in the land. Raw was a spectacle of sight and sound from start to finish, with some spectacular visuals and a big show feel heightened up by special guest stars, including celebrities and WWE legends. There were plenty of WWE superstars on hand too, which made this seem like the hottest ticket in the land. Number 6, CM Punk's a big FU to AEW. CM Punk isn't one to let bygones be bygones, as seen him wearing the same ring jacket the same night that he had his altercation backstage with Jack Perry. And this is the kind of next level pettiness that fans have come to expect and in some cases enjoy from Punk. Number 7, must-see television. The WWE let fans tuning in tonight know that tonight's episode is just the start of a wild ride, preparing fans for 2 magnificent matches next week, including Chad Gable battling what everyone knows will be Penta El Zero, the finals for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Sheamus vs Ludwig Kaiser, and a street fight between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. But that wasn't all, as Roman Reigns told Paul Heyman that 27th January will be his official ceremony for the WWE Universe to acknowledge him. Number 8, Cole comes through. Now, is Michael Cole the go-to wrestling announcers? Well, that's a question and a video for another day. Nonetheless, Cole came through tonight, making sure anyone tuning into Raw, whether it was intentionally or someone app hopping, knew exactly who was fighting and why. Cole has shown that he excels at this, as something seen during last month's Saturday night's main event show, and this was arguably his biggest mission for tonight. And number 9, a wild ride. CM Punk vs Seth Rollins was both a good start for 2 superstars' feud, and if necessary, a good place to leave things while both men go in different programs before they return to rekindle their hate fest. The match told a compelling story as each wrestler wasn't looking to wear their opponent down, but do them serious harm. Once again, CM Punk laid claim to his best in the world title as his facial expressions told a story of rage and contempt that Seth Rollins' constant verbal attacks have created. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is rest in peace, heel Rock. The Rock's appearance tonight was everything fans expected, but regrettably it was also a bit more than fans expected or likely wanted. The Rock went from final boss to TKO board member, going into corporate shill mode and dumping his heel act to put over Cody Rhodes. I mean, what happened there? The two went from killing each other on Raw to sharing drinks backstage, not to mention hugging it out at ringside. And if you look carefully, they're wearing the exact same outfits that they did during those two separate segments. What's even more confusing was the announcement that The Rock will appear on the 7th January NXT. This is something that he mentioned on his Instagram live stories. So number 2, was that all for nothing? Speaking of The Rock's Insta turn, what was with the follow-up to the Final Boss's appearance at Bad Blood? What really was the point of that signal 1, 2, 3? I mean, WWE should have done something on screen to finish the storyline and really truly explain what The Rock's game was. Drop storylines are never a good thing unless they involve Kane and Katie Vick. Number 3, a limp finish to a good show. CM Punk vs Seth Rollins was an incredible match, but that was it. It felt a little anticlimactic and sadly too reminiscent of most of tonight's matches. The WWE's agents and producers need to improve communication, as 3 out of 4 matches ended with wrestlers hitting their finishes 2 times in a row. Are finishers just getting too weak nowadays? Maybe that's something for another video. And some awkward booking. 4 matches on a 3-hour show may seem unacceptable, but not when you consider tonight's show had an important goal of enticing viewers to come back every week for more. Nonetheless, the WWE's decision to put Seth vs CM Punk on last was a bit of an error. Punk vs Rollins was a better match in terms of in-ring quality, but Solo vs Roman had a real main event feel. Even if it was just The Rock coming in and handing him the Olafala, I mean many people such as ourselves was going to think that as soon as he was going to hug Roman Reigns, he was ready for a rock bottom. But nothing happened. Now there was nothing downright ugly as the WWE put on an entertaining show that should give regular fans an idea what to expect in 2025 and new fans have an inkling of why WWE is such a red hot commodity. The WWE got a lot done all things considered, and while this show had a strong feel good element, much like December Saturday night's main event, it didn't make the show feel meaningless. Instead, WWE ended 2 major programs, which should make for some great opportunities for Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley. Maybe we should also add that there was some on and off censoring involved, but some things they allowed and some things they just didn't. What do you guys think of the debut Raw on Netflix? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.